Oh, okay. All right, little one. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are we gonna film together? Let's tell them how to homeschool with a baby and film with a baby. So, I need to give you something to chew on. What can I give you to chew on? Here, you can chew on this. There you go. What you want to do is you want to set aside hard curricula. So all of your hard books, meaning math, language arts, it's a comparative game. When you have books that you know how it's supposed to be when you are sitting down and then trying to do that while juggling a little one, it's going to frustrate you, it's going to frustrate your kids, and it's going to frustrate your baby. So set the books aside. It's okay. It's all right. They'll be there waiting for you after he's gotten bigger. So if you're not doing your hard books after your baby is born, what are you doing? You're reading out loud. You're watching documentaries. You are going outside and exploring because you've been cooped up for so long while you were pregnant, not able to move. Snuggle on the couch and really enjoy that family time of bonding and experiencing new life. So that meant for me that I was schooling a lot in my bed because my body was in no shape to sit upright at a table. It meant that I was lounging on a couch. It meant that I wasn't typically on the floor as much or as often, and that was okay. Is that right? Yeah. After you have your baby, you also are going to want your kids to have things to do without you actually doing them with them. So like handwriting or practicing an instrument or, doing some kind of a school app on a phone or an iPad. Those things when you are going to get naturally interrupted and say, look, I've got to go feed the baby. I got to go change his pants. I got to go do something that involves him. Will you please do this instead? And just having a list of things that they can work on while you aren't there is going to help you feel a little more like they're getting rounded schooling, even if it's not hard curricula. Oh my gosh, do not overcommit to things right now. And this is my problem. I've talked about this before, where I have signed up for dozens of things, especially now, now that everything's kind of opening up again. After he was born, I was like, I'm going to go do this and do this and do this. And we way overcommitted ourselves to a bunch of different things. And we had a lot of fun, but it was also rather stressful because I was struggling with postpartum depression. I was struggling with anxiety. And on top of that, I had overcommitted myself to various projects that I just didn't have the time for or necessarily even the ability to. So even though I was physically able to do things, I was carting around a little one plus my million other children trying to get those things done. It would have been a smarter choice, a wiser choice to have realized that we don't need to overload our schedule, that we can just take our time and ease into life. He is now almost, how old are you? He's about 9 months now. And so he is just starting to get into finger food. So Cheerios.
Mighty O's made from oats with more protein than any other cereal.
That's my life now. I pop him in his little high chair and I put little puffs on front of him, and that keeps him entertained for an inordinate amount of time. So as soon as your kid is able to, you don't necessarily have to wait for naps. You can keep them entertained with food. This also works with toddlers. I also like having a basket of baby toys downstairs near our homeschool room, and I don't keep it full. A stacked baby bin is an overwhelming baby bin, and they ignore it because it doesn't look interesting. There's too much in there. If it's like 1, 2, even 3 items in a big basket, and he has to reach down and get it, that's exciting to him. And the fact that the basket toys always change, that it isn't the same little ratty baby toy each time, it's exciting to him, and he knows there's going to be something different in that basket and what's in it and can I get at it. I also assign baby times in my house. The key difference here is that I treated baby time as a treat. So they do not get to play exclusively with Jesse unless it's their baby time. And then they get him for 15 minutes max. And then they have to take turns. They have to do the next one. And so treating him almost like a toy, but not quite, but saying you only get 15 minutes of him each day. And this is your time to be with him. Yes. Yes. rotate that baby time, man. It's a lifesaver. I also do short bursts of lessons throughout the day. Right now, my lesson schedule is kind of is all over the place. But what I try to do is I say, okay, we're going to work on this for a good 10, 15 minutes, and then we're going to just have to take a break, and then we move on, and we get to what we can get to. So short lessons. I'm just going to have to accept the fact that I can't get all of my schoolwork done in one sitting. I think it's okay. So one of my favorite parts of homeschooling with a baby is doing child development classes. What I would have really appreciated as a new mother is some basic background in child development. I had to rely completely on books instead of my own personal experiences. And that's a real gift that society at large doesn't necessarily have. Most children are going to school when they have baby siblings, so they don't see them during the day and they don't understand how a baby's schedule necessarily works. What can you teach us? Drool. And you have to be careful with this when teaching about child development is they don't become mini parents. What they do is get a chance to observe how children grow and change as they get older. What are you playing with? Huh? Ah, you are my favorite. Who's the cutest one? Here, suck on this lotion. I absolutely let my kids help me out when it comes to the baby. I want them to play with them. I want them to love him. And I want them to enjoy him while he's little like this, because you're not little for very long. But I also try not to take too much of an advantage with it. I don't expect them to change diapers. I don't expect them to feed him. I don't expect them to calm him when he is upset. That, for me, is my parental responsibility. But I do take opportunities to show them how to take care of a baby. This is what we do if the baby has a little diaper rash, and this is how we bathe the baby. I don't expect them to do these things for him, but this is a great learning opportunity for them to see how it's done. And so when they have their own children or when they start to babysit or whatever, they kind of have an already grasp of how little babies work. That is a life skill. Those are life skills that aren't easily replicated in a classroom. It's funny because when this one was born, I just published a video about how to homeschool better. So I would recommend taking a look at that and things that I actively do that help me become a better homeschool parent. Jessie, can you say bye-bye? Can you wave bye-bye? Jessie, wave. That's right. Bye-bye. Yay.